welcome back to my channel. My name is Blurose, and today we're doing a mukbang. You heard that right. Today we are doing a mukbang. What is it called? I don't really know. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. I think it's gonna be fun. If you don't know what a mukbang is, I would encourage you to go look, but there's some gross stuff out there. A mukbang, primarily what it is, at least in my definition, is that like you order a bunch of food, or you get a bunch of food, and then you like talk, or you have like someone with you, and you just eat and talk. Yeah, so I'm kind of on a, I don't want to say diet, but like I'm trying to eat more healthier, and I had this my plan, and I'm like, I'm gonna get like McDonald's and Burger King, but I've decided to just settle with sushi. I'm not even mad about it, so yeah. I asked y'all some questions on Instagram, and I'm gonna answer them right now while I'm eating. So this video is kind of more laid back and chill, but I hope you guys enjoy. So like, I've seen some mukbangs, and it's just a very interesting concept to me. The fact that like, it's become popular to just order like a whole bunch of food. But you know what, I feel like, okay, for example, like if you watch the Sister Squad's mukbang, right? It's like mostly a lot of food, and I feel like they threw away all of it. Like I feel like they didn't even eat all of it, you know? I don't know. There was a party tray that I originally wanted to get, but it was like $25, and your girl does not have that much money. I also learned how to use chopsticks at a very young age because my dad actually went to, I was about to say North Korea, South Korea on a business trip when he worked with Samsung. And so he's always known how to like use chopsticks, and he's always like gone onto restaurants with his work. And so he just like taught me at a young age. And we always joke that like I knew how to use chopsticks before I knew how to use a fork. So, when people eat sushi with a fork, I'm just like, what? I'm like, how? How? Let's try it. I've never actually tried this. It was good. We're supposed to eat it cold, right? So if you haven't watched yesterday's video, I encourage you to go watch it. It's probably one of my most favorite videos that I've ever made. It's just so fun and like creative, and I just love it so much. So please go watch it. But I give facts on myself, and the first fact is that I hate loud chewers, and that's because of my dad. But I'm exactly like my dad. I'm literally a spitting image of my father, and I chew really, really loud. And it hurts me so bad because it's like, it's one of my biggest pet peeves, and I do it, and it's so annoying to me. So again, I asked some questions on Instagram, and I'm just gonna answer some of them. Thank you to everybody who actually replied back. I got a lot of different ones, so let's do this. So the first question I got asked was, what's my favorite stuffed animal? Actually, when I was younger, we would go to garage sales all the time, and there was a box that had like a build your own Build-A-Bear kit. And I don't know how I'm gonna eat and talk at the same time. And it was really cute. It was like a pink poodle, and I made it, and its name was Ashley. And ever since then, I literally went everywhere with that thing. It was my ride or die. It was like my binky, you know, and I loved that stuffed animal. I brought it to freaking Europe. Like, I brought it everywhere with me. Ugh, I love that thing. I stopped, like, obviously sleeping with it like years ago, and I think it's with my mom right now. I think my mom has it in her closet, but I loved that stuffed animal. Do y'all have a stuffed animal, or like something that you slept with as a kid, like you couldn't go to sleep without? Because that's kind of how I was. I love that thing. Next question. It's do you speak Romanian? If you see on my channel, I posted like several things about me singing Romanian, and to be honest, I don't know how to speak fluently, but I'm definitely like in the process right now of learning. And so I go to Romanian church though, where they only speak Romanian, but I've been learning. They have translating devices, and I've just been like slowly like really trying to learn, because now that I'm getting older, it's like almost embarrassing that I don't know. And like, I'm in the Romanian community, it's really hard when you don't speak, because it's a big part of who you are, you know? So it's kind of dumb that I don't. So I don't speak fluently, but I do speak a little bit, and I really understand. Like, I fully understand. So yeah. So I got a question, and some of the next ones are gonna be from the same person as Stara. I love you, Stara. Thank you so much. She asked, what's the strangest thing you've ever eaten? The strangest thing I've ever eaten was when I went to Africa and we ate zebra and giraffe. Now, if you know me, you know that like I love giraffes, and that was after when I started liking giraffes a lot. So now that I think about that, I actually ate one, kind of makes me want to cry. But I remember the zebra specifically, like it literally tastes like chicken to me. So I was like, why is this so cool, you know? But that was like the strangest thing I've ever eaten. Someone asked, what's your favorite season? And my favorite season is the fall time. And why I say that is because of where I used to live in Michigan. Because in Texas, there's like 2 seasons, hot and cold. It's not even, I swear, we don't know what seasons are here. But fall time, because I just remember like growing up and like the leaves and the trees, everything was like changing colors. It was just literally my favorite time in the whole entire year. And like here, summer is brutal. Like it's actually brutal. It's so hot outside. You cannot enjoy anything because it's so freaking hot. But I love fall because it's like that transition into like not too cold, but like cold enough where you can like still bundle up. And I don't know, it's just a cozy season. I love fall. Fall's my favorite. So my friend Emily, if I don't put this in the video, she's gonna kill me. She said, your best friend is Emily, right? And yes, Emily, you're my best school friend. We talked about it today, and she's like, am I not your best friend? And I'm like, well, I have a lot of like, I have like 2 main best friends, right? I have my Romanian best friend and my American. My Romanian is Crystal, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And my American is Emma. But Emily is like my school best friend. Like, I love Emily. Next question is, who has the largest impact in my life, or who has had an actual like person that's been in my life? I have so many people, and honestly, anyone that I've ever been close to has had an impact on my life. Like, it's really hard to just sit there and like pinpoint like one person who's really like impacted me. But I think the person who's always been there, person who's really molded me as a person, is my mom, which is like, okay, and like wouldn't have guessed that, you know? But like, it's true, like she really did impact me and like shape me. I would not be anywhere today without her. Oh my gosh. She's literally my best friend, like the person I run to. Like, I love her so much, so much. She knows everything about me. I don't know. If I didn't have her in my life, I don't know what I would do, honestly. And I love it because she's like the ultimate counselor, but I love it now because she's like counseling my other friends now, like my best friends. Like, she'll talk to my friends, and like a lot of my friends love her too. Like, she's just the most like perfect mom ever, and I just love her so much. So that's the person I look up to most. But again, so many people have had an impact on my life that it's really hard to just like pick one, you know? But that's who I would pick. Next question, if you could have one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Sushi. I love sushi. Here's the thing, I like sushi before anybody else likes sushi. Okay, I'm sure other people like sushi before me, but like, I feel like now every white girl is like, sushi is my life, like I love sushi. And I'm like, I've literally loved it since I was a kid. Like, I've loved sushi. Like, I grew up on sushi. So I don't know, I could eat sushi anywhere, anytime. Sushi's my life. If I were on an Australian island, I would only want to eat sushi. I just love sushi. I love sushi so much. Next, I got a question. Who is my best friend? And this was asked by none other than Crystal, who is my best friend. The thing is though, like I explained before, like I have a few best friends, but Crystal like isn't my best friend. Like, she's my soulmate. Like, she's like my other half. Like, I don't know what I would do without her. And why I like always know that like she's like, I just love her so much is just because we live states away. We've honestly spent so much more time apart than we have together, but like we literally talk every single day. Like, she's always the person that like I run to with like anything, you know? Like, I love her so much, and like we've been through so much together. Crystal, I love you. You're everything to me. I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. Next was from Crystal's sister Jess. I love Jess so much. She asked me, okay, what's going on? She asked me the question, did you learn to cut cucumbers yet? And let me explain. So I went to go visit them in Atlanta a couple of months ago, and we were making like a breakfast, and they told me to cut the cucumbers, and apparently I just can't cut them correctly. I don't know, maybe I'm just going crazy. I thought I was just cutting them fine, but you know, whatever, it's fine. So after that, they're like, you can't cook, you're an awful cook, and I'm like, no, I'm not, I cook fine. So oh no, anytime that I cut anything now, I'm like I make sure that it's perfect. I love you, Jessica. Next question I got is, how do you stay so positive when doing the Lord's work? And honestly, like right now, I feel like where I'm at with my channel, with like my following, it's honestly not hard, and I mean that by like getting negative feedback, you know? Most of my following now is people who either know me or are close to me, or some of it now is like kind of growing. It's people who I don't know. But it's mostly people who have been saved, you know, or like are know God or a Christian. And so it hasn't been that difficult, but there have been times, which I know that when this channel will grow, that like eventually it's obviously going to be different, and like I'm just going to start getting negative feedback. But that's where you just trust in God. And I actually just watched a sermon from Stephen Furtick, and he said, you know, when you're young, the things that people judge you about, the things that make you different, people are going to get on you because they're immature and they don't know how to handle it. But in a couple of years, the same differences that you had years ago, people are going to respect you for it. I don't know why, but that really stuck with me. I was like, wow. Like, so honestly, just keep on going, because ultimately, as disciples of Christ, we're bound to be persecuted. Like, people are not going to understand us. People aren't going to get us. It's not going to make sense to them. If you don't keep going, if you don't keep striving, then are you really carrying your cross? You know, like, and that's how I see it. Like, there have been plenty of times when people have questioned my faith and everything, but it's like, if you don't stand firm in that, then are you really doing the Lord's work? So just stay positive, keep going, and just never give up, because God's with you. I got another question, favorite music artist. So this is really, 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 really hard. And it's the same thing as like favorite song. Like my favorite song and my favorite Christian artist, it changes all the time. For worship, I would have to say Elevation. Band, like for worship band, I would have to say Elevation. For solo, for like a solo artist, it used to be Lauren Daigle for a long time, but that's kind of shifted for reasons that I'm not going to get into. But I don't really listen to secular music, but the one person that I do when I do listen to secular music is Ed Sheeran. Love Ed Sheeran. That's a fun fact about me. Like, I could listen to Ed Sheeran all day long and I would be totally fine. I think he's one of the most talented singer-songwriters out there. I admire him so much for his like skills, and I think his voice is just... So yeah, I know it's not really like well answered, but it's so hard for me to choose because it changes all the time, honestly. But a constant has been like Elevation and then Ed Sheeran. So yeah, it's really hard to like talk and eat at the same time. I don't know how to do it, and I feel like I'm doing a really bad job. I want to talk with my mouth full because it's gross, you know? So I'm just like, what do I do? I'm gonna do about like 3 more questions, and then I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Next question I got is, how do you feel about being almost 18? So if you didn't know, I'm 17 at the moment, and I'm turning 18 June 6th. Struggling. You know, being in high school and being with like high schoolers, everyone's like, I'm an adult, like I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna get a tattoo and like go to college, and you know, but that's not how I see myself. Turning 18, like technically I'm an adult, but honestly, we're still kids. Like, I don't think I know anything. Obviously, like I've learned a little bit, you know, in my teenage years, but like I really don't know anything. I have so much to learn, and I think that honestly, you learn all the way up until you die. I don't think there's like a significant age where you're like, I've had and gained all wisdom, like I'm all, like no, like I honestly just, I think you're always learning and growing until you die. So it's just a number, and I'm excited, you know, because it's like I'm 18, like I'm 18, you know, but it's not gonna change anything, and I'm not the sort of person to be like, I'm 18, so no one talk to me, I'm cooler than, like, I'm still a kid, and I know that, and I'm honestly really grateful that I have that mindset, because, like, there's a lot of kids who don't think like that and think they're everything, and they're gonna crash and burn real hard. Just in general, too, like, keeping an open mindset and knowing that you don't know everything is so important, not just for, like, people my age, but, like, I feel like for all ages, like, you're always constantly growing, you know? And so to like shut yourself off and be like, I know everything, I just don't think that's gonna get you anywhere, so. Someone said that they just got a ukulele. Any tips for a beginner like me? So actually, I'm wanting to do a video in my Veta series of like ukulele for beginners, so watch out for that. But if anything, I would say learn the 4 major chords like you would for guitar, C, G, D, E minor. Honestly, practice strumming patterns. I feel like strumming patterns are so much harder than actually learning the chords, depending on which instrument, of course. But for ukulele, I feel like the chords are easy enough where it's like, get the strumming patterns down first, especially like if you don't have an ear for it, or if you've never done music in your life. So like for me, it's always been kind of easier. For me, like, I come from a musical family, so strumming patterns was never really a problem for me, but I know a lot of people struggle with that. And so go and literally sit there and go like down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Like, learn your strumming patterns. It's so important. And then after, learn the chords. And for ukulele, it's honestly not a hard instrument. Obviously, to master anything takes time, and I've not definitely at all. But just take your time, learn strumming patterns, and then learn the chords. Someone asked, where do I live? The thing is, like, I don't want to talk about exactly where I live, but I feel like if you really pay attention enough in these videos, you can kind of like tell probably. You often make it aware that I live in Texas, but I don't want to say like where, you know, but yeah, I live in Texas, so the best state in the world, in my opinion. I'm sorry if this video was like not entertaining at all. I wanted to do this. I've always wanted to do one of these, you know? I think it's fun. I definitely did not eat everything, and it's really hard to talk and eat at the same time. Oh my gosh. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little Q&A. I'm hoping to do like a legit Q&A later in the Veta series, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for the people who asked questions. You guys are amazing. I love you. But with that being said, I love all of you. I hope that you have a blessed day, and I'll see you tomorrow.